Hi guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the video on Conqueror's Blade. So today I kind of wanted to have a little bit of a revisit to the Season Pass, the Season 2 Battle Pass. I kind of wanted to do a video sort of covering where we are, sort of like a bit of a review a few weeks on. I slightly forgot that I intended to do that, and we're now like 4 weeks on, I think. Where the weekly challenges. What are we on? Oh well, week 6, Jesus. Blimey, it's been a lot longer than I actually thought. So we're just over halfway. I really need to keep better track of these things. But anyway, I wanted to do sort of an interim review. Because after Season 1, when Season 1 was first released, I sort of covered the Battle Pass initially. And then after 1 week, I did sort of an updated video on it. Because quite a lot had changed. And I kind of wanted to provide some feedbacks after sort of the first week. And I kind of wanted to do a similar thing with Season 2. Because, you know, it has changed in a way quite a lot since Season 1. And generally, I think it's been a much smoother deployment on Season 2, and things have generally been less controversial than some of the problems we had in Season 1. So, for those of you who don't know, just to briefly recap in Season 1, it was largely similar. We had a Battle Pass, which was 0 to 200 in ranks. We had weekly challenges like this, although I think it was only 6 or 7 weeks in total, rather than the 10, at least at the start. We didn't have the unit challenges, we didn't have attire challenges, and we had a similar sort of seasonal store setup. But there was a handful of problems with that. Firstly, on Season 1 they did the grind from 0 to 200, and all the things like the skins and everything were within up to 200. So to get all the skins you had to grind to level 200, and that was almost impossible because there was less ways you could earn honour at the time as well. And it just made it almost impossible, apart from a few people who ground extremely hard and played an awful lot over that period, to be able to actually get there. So this time they've deployed it basically up to 100, and beyond that it's just the stuff you can spend in the seasonal store up to 200. So anything you can unlock, all the skins or the hero skins, the unit skins, treaties, gold dust, etc. is all available up to level 100. And that's a lot more reasonable. You know, we're now at week 6. I play a reasonable amount, but I also work full time, and I spend quite a lot of time editing videos and stuff, so I don't actually get that many in-game battles, that much time to actually play just on the matchmaking. So, and I'm already up to level 72, so it's perfectly reasonable for most people to get up to 100, or at least get close to that with a little bit of effort. So that was quite a good change. On top of that, we had much more transparency over the glory system from the start. So when you first buy the Battle Pass, you basically get the option to 2. You basically get the base Battle Pass, which basically unlocks the premium Battle Pass, gives you your 50% extra glory per battle, etc, etc. And that's it. It gives you everything, but no boost. And for basically double the price, you can buy the same one, but you get 100,000 glory free. You know, marginally pay to win, a little bit cheeky. But at least we're told about it from the beginning. Last time when they deployed Season 1, this was the only option. And then, sort of 2 weeks in, they suddenly said, oh, if you pay us an extra 1,000 sovereigns, you can have 100,000 glory. And that didn't go down very well, because, you know, you have to tell people what they're buying at the start, and then to change it halfway through, you know, a lot of people were pretty unhappy about that, and understandably so. So it's nice to see we've got a little bit more transparency right from the start, and we also know the situation in terms of buying the Khan Edicts from the seasonal store. So we kind of knew all this in advance, and that was better for me. I like to know what people are buying beforehand. On top of that, we obviously got a longer season pass. You know, it's a 10-week battle pass this time. Much more weekly challenges, again, helps with the grind. Plus the fact that right from the off, we have the weekly challenges, which are much more in our favour. So when you do these, you know, you're getting some of those Shaman Scrolls, which give you 500 glory per one. So when you start to get through your weekly challenges, you know, you can gain at least a couple of levels per week on these weekly challenges. So they're quite a nice little boost to it as well. So all in all, I was kind of pleased with the general sort of premium aspect of the deployment. The weekly challenge, the rewards from the Battle Pass, again, pretty decent, even for those who, you know, didn't want to buy it, which I think is a perfectly legitimate, you know, you don't need to buy it, and you can actually get quite a bit without buying it. You know, even though you get 50% less glory per battle, you can still get all the same weekly challenges as everyone else, and you don't actually have to get that high before you start to get some decent stuff. You know, a lot of the initial stuff is pretty basic, chest of resources, etc., some hero XP cards. But you get the fangs pretty early on, and so by level 14 you're going to be up to 120 fangs, and you only have to go in the seasonal store to see that The treaties here were 50, so you could get a pair of treaties. You can get some pretty rare weapon schematics. You know, only 80. I'll certainly be buying some of these before the season passes over. And we have unit XP cards, so only 10 each. So for 50 fangs, you can get 50 battles worth of 50% increased unit XP. It's such a good deal, so worth having. And for only playing a tiny little bit to get that on the rewards. Even just on the standard stuff. So there's some pretty cool stuff to get, and you didn't miss out on that much in terms of skins and little bit of extra silver and stuff by not having the premium. So that's it for that side. We also had the unit challenges. Been pretty pleased with these. I kind of like how they deployed. The first set, you know, I've got all of them bar the Keshiks now, which I've still got a fairly mighty old grind to go on these guys yet. And all in all, I think it's been deployed quite nicely. They had a few little issues where I think things weren't quite thought through or weren't quite translated properly in some of the challenges, where it wasn't super clear what you were supposed to do, or where it sounded clear what you were supposed to do, it didn't then actually work. A little bit of the stuff like, I don't know if I've got any on these ones. No, I haven't actually got any on these ones. But some of them have been about an arena mode that isn't currently yet in the game. We had some about getting interrupts and cap circles, which wasn't very clear and was quite hard to actually get to work. And there's been a few things like that which have not been amazingly deployed. But by and large, I like this system of unlocking units. I like the fact that you get given the kits when you unlock them, and it then doesn't cost you much to build them. And I think there's been actually a really interesting selection of units, and I think they look good. So all in all, yeah, really pleased with the unit challenges. So the only other things basically that we have had is that's just been deployed halfway through the battle pass, halfway through season 2, these attire challenges that have just come in. So it'd have been nice to have these at the start, but you know, it's a free edition, something that's just come in, so certainly not going to complain. And it is basically a series of attire upgrades and changes. So basically a handful of banners, 3 banners, which you're just going to get by doing the challenges. And then there's basically 3 reskinnings of skins, if that makes sense. But it's the same base skin, but it's either got a different colour or slightly different additions and changes to it. Some of them look pretty cool. I quite like it, I must admit. I think it looks pretty cool. And the final one I thought was really kind of cool. That is not a bad looking little skin. So yeah, so some really cool stuff that they added that stuff in. No real complaints there. It doesn't cost anything. It's a free addition to the game. Extra skins, you know, on top is always a good thing. Extra banners, and it's basically done by season level. It may be getting a little bit of a stretch there. I think that says slightly poorly optimized in the way they've placed that yellow text there. But I think it's 1 of 150. Raising your season level by 150 is a fair old challenge. I'm not entirely sure that's going to happen before the end. If that had been from the start, it probably would have done. But I think that's going to be a little bit of a struggle there. But other than that, still kind of cool stuff. So yeah, all in all, I think the season 2 has definitely been better deployed than we had on the first season. I think, you know, it's been fine, it's all pretty good. I think come season 3, I think we're going to have to hope or want for something perhaps a little different or a little bit more innovative. I think if we get the same sort of layout again, I think it's going to start to maybe get a little bit stagnant. I'd kind of like to see some more radical things introduced, something slightly different, because this time we had the unit challenges, which really kind of mix things up, but that's not really a battle pass thing. That's sort of something for everyone. You know, if we just have the same sort of 200 and you get 10 silver powder, etc., blah blah blah, it's going to get a little bit dull. I'd like to see something a little bit more exciting brought in for season 3, but we'll just have to kind of wait and see where that goes. So yeah, that's really all I've got for you. I just kind of wanted to touch on how I feel the season 2 stuff has been going kind of over the past 6 weeks. I can't believe it's been 6 weeks already. It's gone really fast. But anyway, it has. So, yeah, be sure to let me know what you think kind of about the Season 2 and the Battle Pass. How do you think it's gone so far? Were you happy with the deployment, or were there things you kind of rather would change? So, yeah, do let me know in the comments. Of course, subscribe to the channel for a load more Conqueror Blade content. I'm now going to go and take the silly red hat off and go and get into some siege battles. So I shall see you guys on the next video.